Hey YouTube fam, how y'all doing? Pray that each of you are having a blessed and safe day. I decided to do something a little different. I decided to do a video on how to create a podcast because I had a few people that asked me, how do you create your podcast? So here we go. Alright, this is my front screen right here. I shared my screen in Zoom, and as you can see, the little anchor right there in the purple, it has the yellow squiggly lines. Make sure you go ahead and download that app for all of your podcasting, and this is where you do all of your recording in this app. Really good app. Haven't had any complaints or anything about it. So, well, I had to log out all the way out of my Anchor, but this is kind of what it looks like. But we're going to get to the home screen in just a few minutes, because I'm actually going to go step by step and how to do it. So this is what it looks like when you first download it. You can download it using your Apple phone, your Apple iPad. You can record like that. But if you don't have an Apple iPhone or iPad, that is fine. You can always use your phone. You can sign in through Google, I know, as well as just an email address. So yes, that's what I'm doing right now. And actually, I had recorded this with me speaking, but for some reason it did not catch my voice, but that's okay. We're gonna go on and do it anyway, step by step. But yes, this is what Anchor looks like, but I use my phone. Listen, and y'all don't have to get a microphone and the headphones to start off with this. You could just use your regular phone or your regular iPad to record, because that's how I started out. Now I do have a little small mic now, but I like to take my mic along with me as I'm in the car, because I do podcasts in the car sometimes. You may hear me say Car Chronicles, and I plug it up through my phone. But you can just use your regular phone, your regular iPad. The microphone is equipped in there. You can still record. It doesn't matter. So you don't have to make this complicated or anything like that. Just get it done. Just start podcasting. People like, oh, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. No, you don't. All you need is a phone and an email address. So this is the sign-in screen. Like I said, you put your name, your email, and a password. Like I said, you can sign up through Facebook, Twitter, your Google account, or your Apple account. It does not matter. And on here, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm just going to demonstrate a little bit how you sign up for your Anchor account, how you sign in and stuff. It's super easy, but we're going to go step by step. So if you want to do through Google, you can do through Google. But I think right here what I'm going to actually do is just going to go ahead and just start it off new. I'm not going to use this podcast because I already have mine, in which we are going to log into later. Because I do want to show you some things that the new podcast doesn't have when you start recording. There are some things like analytics and stuff like that as well that I want to show you. But this is what you do when you get ready to sign up into Anchor. Alrighty. Alright, you can talk about the podcast, or you want to make a new podcast. This is what this screen that comes up when you get ready to sign in. It's really up to you. You can tell more about podcasts and tell you how you can make it on your phone. Like I said, you ain't got to have a microphone and all of that. It talks about editing as well. I'm not real big on editing, y'all. I will edit here and there, but I don't too much worry about editing, because editing does take time. And before you know it, you be cutting this out, cutting it out. You be done cut up the whole podcast. And especially if this is your first time, just go ahead and just let it flow. It's going to flow, because the more you do it, the better you're going to become at it. Okay, so I'm not real big on editing. I will edit here and there, but I barely edit. And this right here just tells you how you build your podcast with the episodes. You can put music on your podcast. They already have music downloaded on here. You can use the Spotify music, but I don't really recommend that to use that. And this right here is a podcast cover. You can choose one of their podcast covers, or you can make one or have one made by Fiverr. I had mine made by Fiverr, the one that I use that you see at the beginning of this video. I made mine, but if you don't have one, that's fine. This is what it first looks like. It has your record with friends, the library, the voice messages, the sounds and the interludes, and also this is where you're going to record your podcast. You're going to click the microphone up there and hit record. This is how it looks when you have no episodes or anything. And like I say, you click the little red button down there and you just start recording. It's going to record your podcast. You can talk however long you want to talk. You can, I just recommend everybody starts a podcast, because this right here will help you get your voice. This will also help you build an audience as well, especially if you're not ready to be on YouTube yet. So going back out, like I said, you can record with your friends. That's the library. It saves your podcast right there, all the podcasts that you're going to do. Record with friends. These are people that favor your podcast. Like I said, we're going to go back in mine and do that as well. But this is what it looks like with a fresh podcast. No episodes, no anything. This is what it's going to look like. And it's going to prompt you to make your first episode. And I believe after you make your first episode, it will prompt you to make a sponsorship, which is with Anchor, and that's how you get paid for your podcast. I don't quite remember, because it's been so long. Like I said, I started podcasting last year, and I think I made my first podcast when I did this. But here, this is the account settings. You could put your profile picture up there. Has your name, your email. It also has you where you can add your website on there as well. All of that good stuff. If you want to add that on there, it's totally up to you. You don't have to add your website up there, but if you want to, you can. All right, and here, give your podcast a name. Of course, you're gonna name your podcast. Mine is Beautifully Wonderfully Made. Y'all forgive the the notifications, because I thought I actually turned them off, but it's okay. Anyway, and give a description about your podcast. What do you plan on talking about in your podcast? And I just did something really simple, y'all. Nothing too complicated, because I just want to show y'all how this actually works. So give your podcast a good description. What are you going to be talking about? And after we do that, you can do the podcast cover. Like I said, you can upload an image or choose one from there. You could do a photo. It's really up to you. You don't have to be so technical and anything like that. It's really up to you. You can always go back and change this later as well. I just chose this one right here. I actually kind of liked it, that one. I like the colors, of course. Yes, I like the colors. It's going to show you, and I put love on there, I believe. Yes, I put love in the center, the bottom, the top, where you want this to be positioned. And after that, it gives you a final look. And you just click continue. And after that, this is the category in which your podcast is going to be. Mine is on self-improvement. If you talk about fashion, careers, management, marketing, comedy, sports, courses, anything, just go down in the Dropbox and click on what your podcasting category would be. That way, people search you, they type in self-improvement, your podcast will pop up. There are so many categories on here, so you just flip through there. And of course, I'm going to put English, because that's what I speak fluently. But whatever language you speak, you can put it on here and click next and give it a few minutes. It's taking so long, y'all forgive me. All right, so there is the podcast. It says publish my podcast. All right, finishing up your podcast setup. This is what it looks like. And those icons there, those are the different platforms that your podcast will be on. You got Apple, you got Spotify. There are so many others out there. And it kept giving me invalid podcast name. Well, I don't know. But this was just an idea. But like I said, in a couple of more minutes, I'm actually going to go into my podcast and show y'all some of the things as you begin to record and things that I do want to talk about. So let's see here. Just sitting here a few minutes. I think I was actually trying to figure out why I was still trying to do that, but I'm going to get ready to kind of log out of that. I was doing some talking actually. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Also with the money down there, that's for that's the money that you make off your podcast. Like I said, it's gonna prompt you to make a ad for Anchor. It's gonna prompt you to make an ad for Anchor, and every time somebody listens to your podcast, you get so many listens, you know, it pays you with the money. Of course, I can't click on the analytics here is which I want to talk about, because this is a brand new podcast, because I want to show you the different regions and everything. So we're gonna log out of there, because I'm gonna actually just go ahead and log into mine so y'all can actually see what I'm talking about. And I went back here for some reason. Oh, I was talking about the record with friends. This is for people that actually favor your podcast and everything. Y'all can make episodes together. I actually made one today with my brother Marquell. Y'all be sure to check that out. I uploaded that one, so y'all be sure to check it out. And really, really good information in there. A lot of gems dropped, so you can definitely take advantage of that. And this is talk about if you reach 50 listeners, you unlock the sponsorships. Yes. But of course, if you're doing this every single day, you're going to reach 50 listeners. But make sure that you stay consistent, okay? Please don't get discouraged or anything like that. Stay consistent with this, okay? Things take time. People often want to give up after a week or two or a couple of months. Don't give up. Stay consistent with this, guys. So we're gonna log into my Anchor account here. Mine is gonna look a little bit different. Okay, mine has episodes that I have recorded on the sides. Okay, also those are the plays, the total plays that I have gotten so far, and that's the estimated audience. Okay, so that is the name of my podcast. Y'all be sure to go check it out. But I'm going to show you some of the things on here that you didn't get to see on the Freshly podcast that we created. So, yes. And like I said, these are the people that favor the podcast. You can actually shoot a podcast with these people. You click their name, you send them an invite, and y'all just start podcasting. It's really, really fun. Like I said, you put your photo in there, your email and address, all of that good stuff in there. Also, this is my podcast cover. This is my podcast description, the category, all of that stuff like that. And these are the platforms that my podcast goes out to. It goes out to Breaker, Overcast, Radio Public, all of those. And of course yours are going to do the same thing. They're going to be on all the platforms. This is what I was talking about. These are the analytics. This right here helps you keep up with who's listening to you, how many times, and that way, of course, the most popular podcast. Okay, this is really going to help you stay on target. This will help you target your audience, actually, the people that listen to you the most, and what kind of episodes they like to listen to. That way you can keep them coming back to back and build your audience and build your podcast. So analytics is very important, and I click on each one of those. You can do it all time, through the week, month, 3 months. And these are my top episodes. Like I said, the dating series 101, The Married Man. It's really good. That's with my brother, Kevin Lucas. I was doing a series. If y'all have time to go check that out. I gave a series of dating questions. That was for married and single people. And of course, they had different opinions. So that is what made it really good. But those are my top podcasts that people do like. So I was like, okay, I noticed that people like the dating and relationship thing. They also like podcasting with others. But they also like when I give podcasts by myself, because there's distractions. So I just kind of, whatever is on my heart that day to talk about, I kind of do. But a lot of people did like that dating series. So this is my this is the geographic region. United States is 95%. I got people from Brazil, Russia, United Kingdom, Germany, Ireland, Hungary, Canada, Kenya, Singapore, Afghanistan, Portugal, just everywhere, y'all. And y'all are gonna be the same way, but people are listening from me, just not in the United States, but people from around the world. So you're going to be the same way. Just stay consistent. There's Kenya on there. I appreciate everybody that is listening to my podcast, YouTube channels. Thank y'all so very, very much. But y'all are going to be the same way. If you stay consistent at this, the people are going to come. Okay, these are the platforms they listen to. Of course, it's other Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and Overcast. And this is where they're listening from. Just to give you an idea. And this right here is the age ranges. So I started from age 18 to 22. There's 23 to 27. 28 to 34, 35 to 44, and 45 to 59. And those are the different percentages. And y'all, these percentages do change over time. So one might be lower than the other, one might be higher. They change. The more podcasts that you do, you're going to see the same thing, that those numbers are going to change. And also we have the female and the male ratio. Like with my females, I'm at 57%. These went down, but my male listeners have went up. So guys, I appreciate all my kings that's tuning into my podcast. I really appreciate y'all. You females, y'all know y'all my girls. I rock with y'all. Y'all my queens. But yes, I see my male analytics has went up because it was low, but it actually has went up almost 30%, and I'm like, wow, because it was lower than that. So yes, this will really help you to stay on target with the podcast, what the podcast about. As you do more of them, you're going to see the numbers, you're going to see what people like. And I just say, if they are liking that right there, just go with that. And there are going to be some times where you podcast something that's on your heart and it's not a popular message. That's okay, because somebody else can come back to this message later on. So don't get discouraged. Don't worry about if you stumble over your words, if you mispronounce a word. Trust me, it's okay. And this right here is the money part. That's where you pay you for your anchor. Y'all know I don't mind sharing that. I'm not really, but this is, I'm showing you that you do get paid from Anchor for doing the podcast, the little green Anchor button down there. That's the Anchor advertisement. That's the ad that you're going to record. People can sponsor you. You have to go into the website, I think, to set that up. But don't worry about that right now. If you could just set that up right there with the Anchor, it'll play the ad, but it's not going to play it on here. But if you just set up your Anchor ad and make sure, please make sure that you're adding an ad to every single one of your episodes. Click that, and I'm going to show you right here. Like, let's just say, I'm going to give an example. Let's say if you were going to, just got through loading, did a podcast or whatever. You're going to make sure, I'm telling you, if you could record with your friends. That's all you have to do is hit record, hit invite. You could do the Anchor friends. You could send them a message, say, hey, come do a podcast with me. But that's really, really easy. But let's just say you got through doing a podcast, or you want to load a podcast. So you'll click the little plus sign button right there, and it'll put it over into the workspace over there. I'm going to go down and click one. You can put it over to the workspace. And like I said, you see where it says add a sponsor segment. Please do that every single time. Hit that add sponsor segment so you can get paid for your podcast. Because just think about it, over time, as people continue to listen to you, you get paid for it. And that's like a extra stream of income. And that's a steady stream of income. Okay? So please do that. And also, this is right here is when you want to add the background music. I personally just like the music that Anchor has. Now they do have it where you can put music on for Spotify. and I see the little Spotify icon over there. It's the 1, 2, 3. It's the fourth one. It's in blue. I mean, you could put the song on there, but you really don't want to put a song on there with words because you're already going to be speaking. So you don't want to have the song playing in the background with the words and you speaking. That way, they may not be able to hear you. They may miss something that you said. So I just recommend using the anchor music that's already on here, because none of the anchor music or the sounds have words. It's just the music, and it flows really, really well with the podcast. Some people have done that. I mean, you could do it at the beginning. It's really, really up to you. But my preference, I don't use the Spotify songs. I just use the anchor music or the anchor sounds that's already in there. It's easy. You just click add the music and that's it. And you can talk. The music's in the background and they just hear you. They hear the music, but they hear your voice. Also, this is voice messages. Let's just say you're like, hey, come join me. What is the topic that y'all want to discuss, and you can share your voice message link right here. You could do it on Twitter, Facebook, you could do it on message, do that, and people can actually click that, leave you a voice message, and you can hear the topic that they want to hear discussed. And I'm actually going to start using this. I haven't used it, but I'm actually going to start using this, just to see. Also, you could send it to somebody. These right here are just the little sounds. These are the interludes and everything. If you want to use that, I really don't use these as well. You can if you want to in your podcast. That's fine. But I really don't use those. People do, but I don't. I just strictly use the little music that's on there. And that's it. Like, they got the sounds and everything. You can do all of this stuff on the podcast. But me personally, I just stick to it simple. I make it simple as possible, okay? I just click over there. If you look at the podcast, it says MM. If you look all the way over to the right with the 3 dots, I click there, add music. I add background music. Click that background music that I want, and that is it. And I click the publish. I click publish. I sit down. I write the name of the podcast. I type the name of the podcast, give a quick description, and I hit publish. That's all you have to do. Just type, publish. That's it. All that the editing and stuff, which is, we're gonna get into that very little bit. Like I said, I don't do much editing because I feel like if I do all the editing all the time, it's gonna be in the editing. I may cut out some stuff I don't want to cut out, and you gotta cut through this, and you have to, I wouldn't say it's kind of hard, but you have to click right here, and you click here, you cut that out. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do all the editing, because I feel like if you do that, you won't ever load it, you won't ever get it done. So right here I was just going through and talking about the sounds and stuff. But yes, if you want to do editing, that's fine. A lot of people do editing. But just to get you started, just do it. Just go ahead, click that record button, and just begin to record. It's not going to be perfect at first, y'all. It's not going to be perfect. That's why you work on it every single day to get it better, to get better. And the more you do it, the better you're going to become. So this is what I was talking about. You click if you want to edit. It says trim audio. It's going to load up. You got the start and the end. Let's just say you don't want to do the beginning. You click the little black down triangle there, and you just begin to drag it where you want it to start, and you can click start here. And then let's just say if you want to leave the rest of it, you can leave the rest of it, or you want to cut the end off, you can cut the end off. It's totally up to you. And then you just hit the you just hit the save button right there, and it will save it for you. And this is trim and editing, and you can actually go in and edit the spots. You start and you split right there. Let's just say, okay, I want to start right here with the split, and then I'm gonna split that right there, and then I might need to go down a little bit, and in order, just hit play. That way you'll know the parts where you messed up at. That way you can go in there and edit it. And that's why I say this part right here does take time. That's why I don't really worry about too much of it. But if you want to do it, you know, that's fine with me. More power to you. But I ain't up for all the editing. You just go in there, you click it, you do it, and you're gonna stumble over your words, y'all. But the more you do this, the better you're gonna become. So that wraps up how to do your podcast, how to start your podcast. I pray and hope this has blessed someone. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful, safe evening.